Travis Barker is one of the most influential drummers of all time.
Travis Barker.
From going 5 times platinum to surviving a horrific plane crash, becoming a reality TV star to inspiring millions of drummers across the world. This is the impossible job of Travis Barker. Speaking of impossible, did you know that Travis survived a plane crash? Well, it's true, and that is no small feat because the odds of being in a plane crash is 1 in 11 million, and the odds of surviving one are even lower. But Travis somehow did both. Back in 2018, Travis and his close friend boarded a private jet that would change their lives forever.
The witness told us he was a few hundred yards away last night, a few minutes before midnight, and saw what he called a fireball rolling across the highway.
It sounded like someone was shooting a gun next to my head, and then the plane just spiraled out of control. Before the last impact, the plane was completely on fire. We were a ball of fire in the sky.
And can you imagine going through all of that when you already had a fear of flying?
Oh, I hated flying. I had a dream when I was 19 I was going to die in a plane crash.
And that's not to mention the recovery. Travis had 27 excruciating surgeries, and at one point he was in so much pain that he was offering up his friends $1 million to help him end his own life.
I was in the darkest place ever. Have any of the homies come over here, I'll deposit money into their bank account. I'm done. I can't do this.
But miraculously, Travis was somehow back in his home studio playing drums just 2 months later.
I think we played our first show 7 months after the plane crash, and I couldn't have done it any sooner.
It seems that Travis's brush with death gave him a new lease on life. He started running and swimming every day. He went vegan and overcame a painkiller addiction that he had been battling for years.
Trav, this is your warning shot. Stop right now. If you were to die today, would you be remembered as the man you want to be? That was it for me, and it was so great, man.
Surviving a plane crash is nearly impossible, and in the process, Travis lost some of his iconic tattoos. And in case you were wondering, he has about 110 of them spanning his entire body, but not for the reason that you might think. Yeah, the tats look cool, but to become Blink-182's drummer, you can't have a plan B, and Travis knew that tattooing almost his entire body would actually make it impossible to land a traditional 9-to-5 job. Travis had no choice but to pursue drumming with everything he had, which is why I also make the brave decision to wear a fanny pack. But it turns out nothing could stop Travis, not even serious injuries. Because if you want to talk about impossible, try playing an entire tour with one arm literally tied behind your back. Travis is known for playing through multiple injuries, and back in 2006, he broke his wrist during a video shoot and decided the tour must go on, even if it meant playing entire sets one-handed. And that completes the holy trinity of one-arm drummers. That's insane, because when most drummers try to play with one arm, it sounds like this. But how did Travis Barker become Travis Barker? Inspired by an unconventional role model, an animal from the Muppets, and encouraged by his mom, who got him his first drum set, Travis started playing the drums at just 4 years old. And despite his clear talent at a young age, he never wanted to be a drummer. He actually wanted to be a pro skater.
I figured out at a young age I was way better at playing drums than skateboarding. Like, there was a half pipe in my neighborhood, and they wouldn't let me skate it unless I learned Master of Puppets by Metallica. So that was like my gateway to be able to hang with all the cool kids.
Travis ended up pursuing the drumming dream while working as a part-time garbage man. While he was cleaning up the streets, he would play for anyone who would possibly listen. But times were really tough. And at one point, he was on the verge of giving up on drumming altogether and taking a regular full-time job.
At one point, my pops, he just basically said to me, he's like, yo, you either gotta start paying rent at the house, because you're not in high school no more, and get like a 60-hour-a-week job, like a real job, or you need to go play drums, but you're not going to do it here in my garage. And it was probably the best thing that was ever said to me.
Yeah, one of the greatest punk drummers of all time almost worked for Target instead of Blink-182. But that wasn't the only twist of fate in Travis Barker's career, because one night in 1998 would change his life forever. Just 45 minutes before a packed show, Blink-182's original drummer Scott had a falling out with the band and walked away, leaving them without a drummer and unable to perform. In a panic, the remaining 2/3 of Blink, Tom DeLonge and Mark Hoppus, decided to turn to the drummer for their opening act, the Aquabats, who is none other than someone they called Baron Von Tito, but you may know him better as his real name, Travis Barker. And they asked Travis to do the impossible, learn their entire 20-song set list in just 45 minutes.
They come to my room and they're like, dude, we gotta do something. Can you learn 20 songs? I said, yeah, show me what songs. And I played that show that night.
That is absolutely wild. Almost as wild as the fact that Travis Barker said that he'd play a joint drum solo with me if we hit 1 million subs. Subscribe if you want to see it.
Of course, Travis played flawlessly, and just a week later, he was Blink's new full-time drummer. Travis instantly elevated Blink into superstardom, and it's no coincidence that the first album the band released with him became their most successful ever. And we're just getting started, because coming up we're talking about how Travis became a Kardashian. In 2005, MTV brought us Meet the Barkers, which followed Travis's unconventional relationship with his wife at the time.
We may not look like your average couple,
because our love is anything but average.
Travis pulled the plug on the show just 2 seasons later, blaming the show's toxic energy for the end of his relationship. But despite all of that, present-day Travis somehow found his way back into the reality TV spotlight on the Kardashians. And if you thought marrying a former Miss USA runner-up was bad for your privacy, try marrying a Kardashian 3 times.
Can you believe we got married 3 times?
it's like choosing a child. I can't pick the best one.
And to make the tabloids go even crazier, Travis and Kourtney are not super shy about their PDA.
Ew, guys. Could you guys not kiss in French again?
And to be honest, I understand, because I'm not really shy about my love for my fanny pack, so it's basically the same.
Travis has inspired millions across the world with his insane drumming style, but what makes his drumming so much different than the rest? Well, a lot of it comes down to his 3 creativity hacks.
Travis creates unique drum beats using odd parts of the drum set, like the rims, splashes, bell of the ride, and it really comes through in parts like this.
Instead of sticking to regular backbeats like most drummers, Travis is always exploring new sounds and new ways to create melodies with his drums.
I never thought I'd die alone. I laugh and laugh. Back down off the ledge, you're leaving me.
His third creativity hack is his ridiculous fills, where he's mastered the single stroke roll by simply moving accents around the kit in a chaotic way.
If you want your fills to be as ridiculous as Travis, get your single strokes super fast and play those accents around the kit.
And this really comes together where he ends a song by doing a minute-long dueling snare drum solo with himself, which is one of the coolest and most unique ways I've heard any band end a song. If you want to learn how to play Blink songs note for note, even slow them down and loop the patterns and hear the drums only section so that you can nail each and every note, check out the brand new feature on my online drum school, DBO Academy, where you can learn a ton of your favorite songs incredibly easy. Click right here to start your 15-day free trial.
And if you think countless injuries, a plane crash, and the whole world scrutinizing your every move is enough to make Travis's job feel impossible, well, how about getting kicked out of studios years, building a huge business empire and dealing with big blowout fights within the band.
Because a few years later, the band would call it quits, and Travis was caught in the middle. It all started when the band had to cancel a European tour in 2001 during the aftermath of September 11th. And then they had to cancel it again in 2002 when frontman Tom DeLonge was suffering chronic back pain. After that, the wheels started to come off. DeLonge, feeling creatively unfulfilled with Blink, decided to broaden his horizons and turn me into a raging 10-year-old emo kid with his side project, Boxcar Racer.
This vacation's useless, these white pills are kind.
And I get it. A lot of artists start side projects in between tours, but the awkward part is when DeLonge didn't want to hire a studio drummer because Travis is so sick, so he brought Travis in, leaving just Mark out of the mix.
This Boxcar Racer thing was never meant to be a big production. It was just a full spur of the moment thing.
You wanted to find the best drummer around. The best drummer was in Blink-182.
And I knew if I called Travis, it would be done in a matter of days, you know?
And Mark expressed publicly that he felt betrayed by the whole thing. And after Blink officially broke up in 2005, Hoppus, who was still mad at DeLonge, would recruit Travis for his own side project, Plus 44.
So as Travis Barker, you're expected to be the drummer for all of your bandmates' side projects and to try to keep them together when they're fighting.
With his influence on Blink-182 growing, that's exactly what Travis did. You see, once Travis joined the band, Mark and Tom were smart enough to start taking cues from the genius with the sticks.
And I think a lot more bands should follow in their footsteps because drummers are the best. Travis had his fingerprints all over Blink-182's 2003 self-titled album, which just so happens to be, in my opinion, one of the greatest albums of all time. From reshaping the band's mentality heading into the recording process.
I think the song sounds fantastic, by the way, but I just want to hear more attack from the drums, you know what I mean?
Okay.
That'd be badass for me.
Right down to designing the band's now famous smiley face logo. And if you think wearing the million hats or fanny packs of being a drummer, a producer, and an art director is impossible, well, how about trying to do all of that while also becoming punk rock's Elon Musk, but without the flamethrowers?
Because if you're a superstar drummer like Travis Barker, you're not only going to be leading a punk/rap supergroup in between your gigs with Blink.
I'm waking out, flipping out, hard is what I'm ripping out, I'm slipping out, I'm dipping out.
You're also going to be running a whole empire. Travis's record label DTA has released collabs with the likes of Lil Wayne, Avril Lavigne, Run the Jewels, Machine Gun Kelly, and more, all while simultaneously steering the ship for his clothing company and restaurants. Oh, and one more thing. He's actually using his wellness company to develop products that he believes will extend his music career.
You know, I love vigorous touring, you know, sometimes 15 weeks at a time. I just basically did it because I was using all this product. It was so helpful, it was life-changing.
And if Barker Wellness is gonna help us get more Travis Barker remixes, more collabs with some of the most popular artists in the world, or maybe even another solo album. How the heck can I become an investor? Well, maybe it starts with offering him a studio space, because back in the day, he got kicked out of his.
Now I know what you're thinking. What record studio in their right mind would kick out one of the most famous punk bands of all time? To be honest, I have no clue, because this wasn't a recording studio, it was an Airbnb?
We just said that we're gonna do it. and we moved into a house that a family lived in, and now we're surrounded by all their photos. We feel guilty every time we run around naked and do weird things to our bodies.
That would suck if we have to pick up and leave here.
To record their 5th album, Blink rented a mansion in San Diego and converted it into a studio. And it's an understatement to say the band didn't treat it well. They spent months hotboxing the garage and racking up millions of dollars in pay-per-view charges for adult films? How many OnlyFans subscriptions would that be? Probably like all of them.
Yeah, the people that we are renting the house from, they want their house back. I don't think that we're going to be done in time for them to come back and take their house.
It's no mystery why the owners of the house were ready to absolutely kick Blink-182 to the curb.
And you are out of here!
Leaving them to find a new studio and push production so late that Travis and the band were working on final mixes the night before the album was sent to the pressing plant.
Well, what happened was the record was taking way longer than we thought.
To reach the heights of celebrity that Travis has reached with your drumming alone, you have to do a little bit of everything. But more importantly, break out of the box that people try to put you in. But what if you could redefine the box altogether?
Oh, what's in the box?
Travis can do so much more than just play Blink-182 songs. He has mastered multiple genres of drumming, including punk, hip-hop, pop, marching snare, and the list goes on and on. And this has elevated Blink-182's sound in a huge way, because Travis can execute crazy punk beats like these,
and then making Blink sound even better with awesome hip-hop grooves like this.
But it doesn't stop there, because Travis has created some of the craziest rock beats ever, which come out in songs like this.
Some people might even say that he overplays. But what they don't realize is that he can do it all. He can go from playing insane rock beats like this to incredibly simple looping patterns with almost no variation at all, like this.
I'll take you over if you let me. I will wish this never ends. Will wish this never ends.
Travis's drumming is incredibly versatile, from blazing through genres to knowing when to go crazy and when to keep it really simple. And a lot of drummers can't do both.
Now, you'd think a band that watches $3 million worth of adult films together stays together, but Blink fans know that hasn't been the case at all. To add more to Travis's plate of impossible tasks, he's had to deal with the band breaking up not just once, but twice officially over the years, with countless unofficial breaks in between.
I mean, Tom was just a different person at the end. He wouldn't even speak for himself anymore. He was communicating with me and Travis through our manager.
I guess when your frontman wants to start a UFO company instead of play music, that could be a little bit hard to overcome.
I give it to him, man, to like, honestly, to walk away from your very successful band to go do that. I have nothing but respect for his passion.
Yeah.
But it's like, I couldn't do that.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's like, that just, it really shows like he's very, very passionate about it.
And finally, when DeLonge seemingly exited the band for good, Travis and Mark decided the show must go on. So they swapped out DeLonge for Alkaline Trio's Matt Skiba. And what do you do when you lose your frontman but still have Travis Barker in your ranks? Well, you lean on him and build songs around the drum beats rather than the guitar riffs. And that's exactly what Blink did with California in 2016.
Turn into a scream. I'm not coming of age.
Somehow, despite losing their founder and frontman, California was Blink's most commercially successful album in 15 years. Not to mention, it earned them their first ever Grammy nomination. But despite all of the success, longtime fans were always hoping for DeLonge to come back.
And you stay in touch with each other. I saw one of you posted about the Great Wolf Lodge. Like, you're gonna hang out there or something. Maybe it was you, Travis, right?
Yeah, I was in a band with him for almost 20 years, so it's still a friend of mine.
And much like their first reunion in 2009, it was another tragedy that would bring the trio together again. Hoppus confirmed that he had been diagnosed with a rare form of cancer and had been dealing with treatment in secret. This caused Travis, Tom, and Mark to finally get together again for the first time in years and squash the beef.
Fast forward to now, Hoppus is cancer-free and the band is back together, and I'm pretty sure I speak for everyone in saying that this is the best news of the entire world. And for the first time in 9 years, they came back together and did a surprise performance at Coachella.
Despite continuing to persist against the odds, overcoming a life-threatening health scare, another injury, and a third season of the whole world watching his every move on the Kardashians, Travis is once again back on tour with Blink, and he's confirmed that fans will finally be getting the album they've been waiting for almost 12 years.
And if you want to know why this iconic Travis groove is so hard to play, click right here.